I done started the wrong damn. There we go.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening.
Shout out to everybody
From
in the chat
trader
room right now.
and CEO interviews to breaking
Starting a
news
little
about
late,
companies
but
you
I'm here.
won't hear anywhere else. Nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, Lasal Anungu.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sal in the building right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a crazy day, man. I know I'm on late, but I've just been obsessed with what's going on. I got CNBC, I got, well, now CNBC's up, but Fox and CNN, and I'm looking at the news. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on in our country, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what the hell is going on in our country right now. What I do know is that we're desperate for leadership right now. We need some leadership here because our country's going in the wrong direction. But again, as I've been saying here on the show, you have an opportunity to make some money on that. All right. Now, I got to be honest with you. When it's all said and done, your money isn't going to be worth as much when we come out of this as we are going in. But, hey, it's still an opportunity for you to figure a way to kind of save yourself while this all falls apart in front of our eyes right now. What's going on, Legendary Eights, P Bank, Corey Kwan, Lynn Fix, Felipe Pion, HM, appreciate you. Shirley Lewis, hello. And ladies and gentlemen, wow. I mean, again, huge number for Tesla. I put that in the topic today for us to discuss. Tesla is showing profitability for the quarter. Absolutely insane where we are on Tesla right now after hours, squeezing the shorts. And by the way, tomorrow Tesla should close even higher. We're after hours now, 316. Now, if we have another, right now, I think the market is still, let me see here. Let me check the futures market real quick before I start spitting. All right, so they're trying to set up a bounce right now in the futures. So that makes it even more likely that Tesla closes up even higher tomorrow. Even higher tomorrow. So let's say tomorrow we open up Tesla 320. All right, we're at 315 now, 320. People are getting excited. I think Tesla moves even higher tomorrow. But look, I know the options aren't cheap on Tesla, so just be careful there. But I have no doubt that, you're going to have a lot of shorts that are going to have to cover tomorrow. You've got to have a lot of people who've maybe been sitting on the sidelines waiting for what was going to be delivered today, and what we saw today was just amazing news for Tesla. And Elon Musk comes now to the forefront as maybe this guy is the genius everybody thinks he is. Maybe he is that genius, and Wall Street can finally get off his dick, because you had a lot of people who wanted the worst for him, right? Who want him to just fall apart. And sure enough, you see this guy, at the end of the day, delivers, man. He delivered for his investors. And if you're a Tesla shareholder, you got options in Tesla, man, you got to be excited right now. You got to be really, really excited about what you saw today in Tesla. And congrats to you, man, because you deserve it all. I mean, from the low 280s to now about 300%. I mean, $300, 315. You're probably going to close in the 320s, 330s. You got to be really excited about the kind of money you're going to make, or you've already made after hours, and the kind of money you're going to be making tomorrow. So congrats to you. Congrats to you. No problem, Alan. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Anytime. What's going on, Mr. JRH? I mentioned very clearly on IWM, I saw you guys saw my post on IWM, over $4,600 today that I made on IWM. I don't know if you guys saw that post. I put it on Twitter where I took a picture of it in the AM, posted it. I posted it a little bit late, and then I took another picture toward the close, $4,600 on IWM. Look, ladies and gentlemen, when there's a fire, typically what you see when there's a fire in a building, and I hate to use this analogy, but the people who die tend to be the people who aren't strong enough to run out of the situation. And those tend to be juveniles, the elderly, and people who are physically disabled. And when you look at IWM, all right, the Russell 2000 ETF, basically what you're buying is the most economically vulnerable companies outside of OTC in a basket. You're buying companies that are heavily leveraged, that have high debt-to-income ratios, that have incredible macroeconomic sensitivity, and sensitivity to interest rate increases. You're buying weak companies, and they win when it's all good, right? When the rising tide lifts all boats, sure, IWM goes higher. But when things start falling apart, this suffers the most. This suffers the most. So I hope I've explained that to you well. And in this economy, you want to take advantage of the companies that are, again, weak. That are pretty weak, right? And there are thousands of them. There are thousands of them. There are over 15,000. Everybody says 10,000. There's a 10,000. There are 15,000 publicly traded companies in our country. Some get more volume than others, but there's an opportunity here. What's going on, Lord Yase? I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you coming back, man. Had to do your time and came back. I appreciate you. You're a free man. All right. George M. What's up, George M? Okay. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get a pop tomorrow. Look, we're pretty oversold. I want to say, I hate the word oversold because that tends to imply for you to go long and to stay long. But I think you get the pop here, right? But I think the pop, doesn't sustain itself and you continue to go south. And you had people saying that we're going to get back to, the 50. We're long gone from the 50 moving average. You remember the 50 moving average was supposed to be, all right, guys, we're going to get back there. That's came and went now. That's came and went now. We're a long way from the 50. We're a long way from the 50. I talked about Caterpillar. Look at Caterpillar. On my last episode, I said Caterpillar is a continued short. I wish I was a millionaire. I wish I just had won that little jackpot that just won. A shout out to the guy, whoever, or woman in South Carolina who just won that $1.6 billion. Congratulations to you. But, there are a million places to put money to be made right now. And Cat is just another one. I mean, Cat could very well go underneath 100. I mean, this is a stock that just has so much global economic sensitivity to it. I mean, this is like a watching a penny drop. This is like you're watching a penny drop here on the weekly on Caterpillar. All right. Now, I know we can talk OTCs and whatnot, but folks, don't be fooled, right? We the small caps are great, but right now there's money to be made in these large caps as this falls apart here. So I know some of you guys are going to stick. You're always going to stick to your sub pennies and whatnot, but man, don't miss out on this. Don't miss out on this, man. Don't miss out on this. Okay, because we introduced you last week to some of these inverse ETFs where you can play them just like stocks. You don't like the options, that's fine. Play them like stock. Here's SH. All right, here's an inverse ETF. This goes up when the market goes down. You can buy SH. All right, there are leverage plays out there you can buy that are inverse ETFs that give you even bigger returns on your investment. All right. Here we see SH here on the weekly. Again, getting above that 50 RSI. That's your buy signal. That was almost a week ago or so now. But with this week's move, showing you this is where you definitely have to be right now. Obviously, on the shorter time frames, you got the signal a lot earlier, crossing that 50 RSI. All right. If a stock is going to move higher, it needs to cross the 50 RSI. If a stock is going to move lower, it needs to go below the 50 RSI, and just use that as your guide. And a respectable moving average. I prefer the 25. 10 is a little bit too close. 4 and 8 is a little bit too close. That's more of a day trader thing. Sticking to a daily or weekly time frame. I'm just not going to, and I told you guys I wasn't going to create anything or, just stick to the fundamentals. And it's been working out. It's been working out. As you can see here, I'm making more money than I've made probably in the show. $4,600 today on a position that I had been holding for just under 3 days. That cost me just under 10 grand. What's going on, Money Green? Let's talk Ford. One thing I know about Ford, I know we just laid off over 20,000, or in the process of laying off over 20,000 people. Again, I don't like companies like this just because, let me get rid of the moving average, because they've got, obviously the cash flow situation is different. I mean, they got the financing arm and whatnot, so the money is in the situation. It's just the fact that they've got a lot of obligations. Lord Yase, they got a lot of obligations. They got 30, 40, 50,000 people who are retired who are expecting a check every single month. They've got a shrinking profile of vehicles compared to just 10 years ago, right? If you look at the Ford lineup right now, it's a lot smaller than it looked 10 years ago. Hell, look what's going on with Chrysler. Chrysler's got 2 cars. Chrysler's got 2 cars in their lineup. Go to their website. They got the stupid minivan and they got the 300. That's it. A lot of people don't even know that. Chrysler's got 2 cars out. So I don't like the automotive companies. I think it's just not going in the right direction for most of the big companies. I mean, when you're still again paying people $25, $26 an hour to screw bolts in vehicles, it's just not going to be economically viable. And I think we've gotten to that point now, right? We've gotten to that point now where, they just can't carry on. The future just doesn't look as bright. And and just look at the chart. I mean, let's look at, here we have from 99 now to 2017, 2018. This is a monthly chart. You're not seeing a company that looks very promising. You're not seeing a company that looks very promising. So you got to look at the big picture when you look at these companies. Absolutely. I think it's a great put, when you look at companies like Ford, when you look at a company I brought up last week, what's the motorcycle company? I forgot. Harley Davidson, right? I mean, you're looking, again, companies that have been around. They're heavily in debt. They got a lot of obligations. The future doesn't look so bright for them just because the game is changing, right? When we're talking about automotive. I mean, we don't have a lot of automotive companies out there. But as their current business model, it's just not going to work for them. It's just not going to work for them. Someone says, turn my mic up. Oh, okay. Let me turn my mic up. God, man, my green screen is really fucking up. Hold on. Let me see. I got to fix this. Green screen is really fucking up. All right, let me turn my mic up. Turn my mic up. Do I sound really low, guys? Or somebody got an Acer computer? Do I sound really low? I'm going to turn it up here. All right. I know somebody here might have an Acer computer. Yes, I just got done talking about Tesla. Big surprise on Tesla. Big surprise on Tesla. Make sure you guys turn up your volume on your system. Not the headphones, but the actual system you're listening to. Your actual computer. You said short Acer. No, you're hilarious. What did I make of PTOTF today? Man, look, isn't it so funny how they announced that just after my video? Just after my video on PTOTF, calling people's attention to some possible water trading going on in PT. Isn't it funny how they bring out that news? Let me explain that news. I know most of you guys aren't trading PTOTF because it's a bullshit stock on the OTC. But the Cisco Innovation Program is a free program. Anybody can join the Cisco Innovation Program. What they put out today was complete bullshit news. It is a free program that if you've got a startup, you can join the Cisco Innovation Program. They've got little locations all around the country, all around the world, to be a matter of fact. And it's free. But it's not a real agreement with Cisco. It's not a real, you're not partnering with Cisco. It's the same bullshit Enfus tried to pull. Enfus tried to do the same thing. Oh, yeah, we partnering up with Cisco. And look where they are now. Look where they are now. At the end of the day, the writing on the wall is clear. PTOTF, you can read the filings. They've said it very clearly in the filings. We are not a. Let me post it for you. People think I'm bullshitting. I posted it up today on Twitter. We are not expecting to be profitable for a very, very long time. Okay? Let me see if I can dig it up real quick. Is it this one? No. All right, let me find it real quick. PTOTF. There it is right here. This is what PTOTF is saying. It's in the filings. The company has no history of earnings or cash flow from operations. The company does not expect to generate material revenue or achieve self-sustaining operations for several years. So how is the stock up 120% when they basically said we're not expecting to make any money? Who are you fooling, man? Like, what are you buying right now? You know? But people are just like, oh, well, Sal, look at the price action. I don't really look at the fundamentals. I just look at the price action. Okay, all right. How does that work out for you most of the time? How does that work out most of the time? You know, don't let these people fool you, man. Don't let these people have you holding a bag. And these things work until they don't work no more. They work until they don't work no more. And then you open up your account one day in the morning and that stock is down 30, 40% because somebody decided to sell. You know, don't let these people fool you, bro. Garbage is garbage. You know? Did you see the move in Verizon? You put the other day, got stomped out. Yeah, shout out to Verizon because Verizon's eating AT&T's lunch. I saw that move in Verizon. Verizon's eating AT&T's lunch. Look at what's going on with AT&T over the last couple of years. You know, AT&T, their situation is when you've had bad customer service for years, for the most part, pretty inferior product, right? I mean, AT&T has been pretty bad for the last couple of years. I mean, you can just, again, look at the chart, look at these longer time frames. You know, and again, this is another company, right? Legacy Bell operation. I know it's not as big as it used to be in the 80s, right? They broke up. But it's another company that again, has a lot on its books, a lot of retirees that are living longer, debt obligations, and again, another company that hasn't gone out of its way to really invest in the technology of tomorrow. I mean, they're behind. They're nowhere even close to the conversation where we talk about 5G. Verizon already out. They're already building in Houston. If you live in Houston, they're already asking you to sign up for the new 5, not for the service, but to get the things started to getting, you know, built near your home. They're already getting that popping, man. What's going on, Money Stay Woke? They're already getting that thing popping over there. So shout out to Verizon and what they're doing out there. And again, eating up AT&T's bag. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to say Verizon could buy AT&T, which would be really crazy because if you understand the history, that would be like the son buying the father because Verizon was literally part of AT&T if you go through the history. So, but it would be something like that. It would be a situation where like the son buys the father, man. Or more like the great-grandson buys the great-great-grandfather. That's more likely. You know. That's more like it. Yes, indeed. You're a technician for T, won't invest in the stock, maybe for dividend, but not damn. This guy works for the company saying he wouldn't even buy the stock. I do know they treat their employees pretty well, though. I do know that. I mean, they hire from within. They're a legacy carrier, so these are the type of businesses where, I mean, if you've been there for like 10 years, 20 years, they treat you right, man. But if you're coming in, you know, fresh in the pants, I mean, you're basically shit out of luck. Oh, man, Facebook is going to be an $80 stock when this is all said and done with. We talked about Facebook last week. Again, these higher time frames have just been killing it lately, guys. These, if you look at the daily chart, the weekly charts, I mean, they've always been killing it in terms of accuracy when in moving averages and whatnot. But just lately, you know, the short-term time frames, that's where people getting kind of fucked up because you've been getting a lot of fake signals during the day that a possible recovery will happen, and then it all turns around. So stick to some of these higher time frames in these situations so you don't get fooled. But here we have Facebook. Yeah, man, I mean, when this is all said and done, they could be absolutely, somebody said they could be $100. They could very well be $100 stock. They could be $100 stock. And look, you can take the opportunity now, step in front of this, and you might look at a January $100 put, right? Which is, you know, a January or February $100 put, you know, which again is significantly more expensive than it was like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, but will still be significantly, you know, more valuable if the stock continues to go down, right? So yes, you're paying a premium on a out of the money put like that now, right? But it'd still be cheaper buying it now than if you wait another month or another 2 weeks if the market continues to sour, as I believe it will. You know, and I said this on my last show. Everybody's trying to get you to keep buying. These people are selling, man. You look in the chart and it's telling you people are selling. So, you know, I got to smack people in the face who are telling me that I need to put my money back to work and believe that the economy is sound and people are making all kind of, nah, man, I'm looking at the chart and I'm seeing companies aren't buying their stock anymore. The wealthy aren't buying stock anymore. So why do I have to be their exit strategy? You know, why do I have to be their exit strategy? Absolutely, Money Green. Tesla is a play tomorrow. Play Tesla on the bounce. You're going to get a bounce tonight. But the problem is I don't know if the bounce is going to hold. So you got to be very careful, man, because we've had bounces in the morning, right, that just dried up by about 12:30, 1:30 or so. That shit will just dry up and it just starts going the other direction. So, again, be careful because if the market continues to sour, Tesla's going to come down right with it, good earnings or not. We saw what happened last week to Netflix. Netflix put up a stupid number. Stupid number on Netflix. Look where Netflix is now. You know, and that was another situation. If you look at the Netflix play, and we can study that real quick. You look at the Netflix number, right? Let's go, maybe the hourly was still, there it is. Popped up right after hours. You had the after hours. And this, again, this is an hourly chart. So every candlestick is 1 hour. So as you can see here, it had a strong morning, but it just couldn't hold. And it's been a big loser since then, nearly losing $79, about $80 since that announcement. Nearly $80. So big loser there. Do you think a drop? No, Steven. I'm saying that Tesla pops tomorrow, goes a little bit higher, but now we have to figure out whether you're going to have buyers at those higher prices, just as we see here at this Netflix chart. See, Netflix died out because the number was great, but you didn't have buyers at the higher price. So does this happen tomorrow with Tesla? So Tesla, you got to be excited in the first hour, but it's all going to, that's where it's going to be. You're going to have to look for that first hour candlestick. You know, you're going to have to see what happens there. You know, you're going to have to see what happens there. And as you can see here, this is the hourly. You know, you got up in the morning and then sure, I mean, that breakdown, you know, again, below that 50, that's your confirmation there where it's just pretty much game over. So you can wait for just it going below that 50 on the hourly. Obviously, shorter time frames would have got you in a lot earlier, but you know, still, I mean, let's see, maybe even a 15-minute, a 15-minute. So here's the announcement on the 17th, right? And then, yeah, I mean, again, it was just a slide. So after that, I mean, they tried to fight and hold at 50 line, but it just was a collapse in there. So not even close. Not even close. I mean, not even there was no fight. There was no fight at all when you go back and look at what happened with Netflix. So, yeah, Netflix is a clear short now. Yeah, I mean, it's a clear short and hold now. And again, this is another stock. Again, just, you know, you're looking at some of the weekly, you know, look at the weekly play, look at the monthly. You know, these stocks are up huge. Don't feel sorry for any of these companies. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for NVIDIA, Netflix, Cat. These people are sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars. Don't feel sorry for any of these things, man. These things will come back down to 120, 110 or God, they can lose 50% of their value. They'll be just fine, and it is what it is. So as these stocks come, don't feel sorry for these things, man. These people on these executive boards, they're sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars. Don't feel sorry for these people. They've been better off than you. They're going to be better off than you. So whether they lose $100 million over the course of the next, 30, 60, 90 days, it's nothing for them. It's really nothing for them. But it's an opportunity for you to be able to gain 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000, depending on what you're working with, as these stocks go down. All right. Again, just look at the moving averages. Google earnings thoughts. I'm expecting Google, let me see here. Google's not one that I follow too much. It's not one that I follow too much. But again, I still think that Google's greatest acquisition was a company called Penny or Panini. What was YouTube used to be called? It had a funny name before it was called YouTube. Right? And I think that was by far their greatest acquisition was YouTube. It looks like everybody is expecting earnings report. Okay. Well, when I look at the last quarter, you look at paid clicks up 58%. So I'm going to be looking for that too. I'm going to be looking for continued increase in online spending, online media, social media spending, online marketing. I mean, companies like Google are going to win for a long time, man. They're going to continue to keep winning for a long, long time. As people transition out of television into, the internet and the internet of things, and how Google is going to connect into all of these technologies and be able to, again, leverage that with advertising and meeting new ways for companies to sell to you through all of these different avenues. And again, 5G is going to be another explosive way for them. And again, all these networks are just going to all fall apart, and you're just going to have individual news sources and programming for you to watch. It's just going to be an incredible future for Google. But again, when you've had so much cheap money flying around for so long, even companies like Google that put up great numbers are still susceptible to when that cheap money starts to dry up. And that's exactly what you're seeing here in Google. So they're going to be a victim as well. They could be, again, another Netflix situation where you can put out a very stupid number and things continue to, to slide lower. Yeah, LK Rod, don't feel bad for them at all. Don't feel bad for none of these people, man. I saw something where somebody said, yeah, Jeff Bezos lost $100 million today. I don't feel sorry for I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That guy don't give a fuck about you. How much is Jeff Bezos losing a day as Amazon slides? Fuck that. How much money am I getting as the stock slides? He's good. Appreciate you, Everett. Amazon, AMD. Yeah, poor Jeff. Oh, the richest man in the world. He lost $100 million. Oh, even though this man makes, come on, man. Come on, man. I don't feel sorry for that nigga at all, man. AMD, let's look at AMD. AMD, yeah, I saw the number I saw the number on AMD, and it's just look, man. We've talked AMD here on the show. Again, I just wish I had more money. I mean, that's the problem as a trader. You suffer from limited capital. But I mean, again, the signs, again, that 50 RSI, man, it don't lie, man. It just doesn't lie. It just doesn't lie. When good companies go and turn into negative sentiment, it's either going to bounce off that line or go below that line. And but look, clap it up for AMD, man. They had a crazy year and a half. Clap it up for AMD. I'm not even mad. I mean, AMD. Look, I remember when I started the show. We talked about AMD in the single digits, man. So big respect for AMD, because there was opportunity to make money in that stock. If you've been watching my show from some of the beginnings, look, there was opportunity there, man. Clap it up for AMD, man. Let me show them some love, man. Give you a round of applause for AMD. They did their thing for a year and a half. They did their thing, man. So, look, after, a party has to come to an end eventually, because I know you and we've all been to a party where it's just like, man, I could do this all night, but eventually the party's got to come to an end. Everybody got to go home. Everybody got to go home. And that's exactly what's going on. AMD market's turning around now. People got to get, got to take the money and move somewhere else. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a short right now. It's a short right now. The weekly sign here is coming too. Here's the weekly. About to crack below that 50 RSI for the long-term traders. Again, they've already exited the position. I mean, you can already exit the position simply on, a trend following thing. You know what I mean? You can simply just using the trend, you would have got out of here a long time ago. Not to say a long time ago, but a few days ago, just simply looking at the trend as it broke the trend here on a weekly time frame. That's why, guys, when you're trading weekly, you're not, 50 RSI gets you in, up or down. But how do I know to get out is when the trend breaks. Okay. All right, and as you can see here, failing to make new highs. That's another way to do it too. Here's another trend line. As you see, when a stock fails to break new RSI highs, here's another trend line break. So this is where, again, you could have came in on a weekly basis. And again, I know hindsight is always 20/20, but again, when you learn, here's the trend line break. That's your in. Breaking above again that 50 RSI right there. Boom. And look where you went. But and again, when you're failing to make RSI highs or new RSI highs, the stock cannot make a new high on the price. But nice move on AMD. So again, it's really interesting there. Really interesting there. All right. That's just a regular trend line. Just a regular trend line. We're looking at the weekly chart. What's going on, Dawson? Yes, indeed. I appreciate you, Dawson. Yes, indeed. How's your channel growing? I know you started a new channel, Uber Eats. K-Mac, you said, but where's the bottom? I don't know. If somebody could tell me where the bottom of a stock is, we'd all, I'd be a millionaire. Where the bottom or where the top is. But again, all you can do is use these moving averages that have, again, a strategy that has lasted the test of time, right? Okay. So let me remove my drawing tools here. All right. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Go ahead and like this video. Thank you, Steven. Y'all press like on this video right now, man. Y'all press like on this video. GROW. Someone was saying, what do I think about Grow? I mean, you know, NASDAQ play. I don't know anything about this company. I don't know anything about this company, but as you can see here, it doesn't look like 2018 was very good for them. Could be some fundamental issues there. Yeah, so you're going to have to let me know. So you got 12 people so far. It's coming along. Okay, that's what's up, man. You know, when you're starting at the beginning of YouTube is the hardest. Your first 10,000 subscribers, that's the hardest part. The first, I'd say the first 1,000 is the hardest because you got to get, the algorithm doesn't really figure you out until you either really get to 1,000 subscribers or you get a hit video that just slaps. And then all of a sudden, you know, the system just really starts to put you out there within the particular subject matter. All right. What do I think about TVIX? Man, TVIX has been, you know, I got to get David Lincoln back on here because TVIX, again, it's volatility. You know, there's a lot of money to be made, you know, trading volatility. The thing about being a volatility trader is you have to really have a short time frame, man. I mean, it's got to be really between 24 to like 72 hours, right? Because TVIX is an ETN and it just, and it's real funny to it. And when you're trading with the VIX, there are a lot of things you've got to look into other, you know, besides just the fact that the stock is going down. And I would check out his channel, David Lincoln, the David Lincoln Show. Look that up in YouTube and subscribe to him. And but TVIX, as you can see, going in the other direction because again, when the market starts to sell off and volatility increases, TVIX goes higher. TVIX goes higher, and some people call the VIX it's a fear gauge. You know, it's just a volatility gauge. That's all. I won't call it fear. It's just volatility. And it's a different way to look at it. All right, Sloppy Bukaki, appreciate you. Yeah. Market's tumbling hard, but this is when, again, us poor people win. And when I say poor people, I'm talking about anybody who got less than $10 million liquid. In America, you're considered relatively poor. You know, because even millionaires, you know, you can talk to some of these people who are like 1 million, 2 millionaires, you know, they consider themselves poor. If you talk to a guy who's got like $1 million, not liquid, because typically it's like his house is worth $500,000 and he's got like, you know, $250,000 in his 401k or something like that. He doesn't consider himself rich because he's still got to, you know, go to work every day and stuff like that. But if you're at $10 million in America, you're rich. You're rich. You know, because chances are at $10 million you don't go to work like that. You know, you don't go to work like that. And more importantly, you can make money on your money in ways that normal people can't. And I say that, you know, to say that, you know, as the market continues to go lower, this is an opportunity where people who don't have a lot of money, who aren't watching their investments shrink 10, 20, 30%, because unlike the rich, they're fully vested, right? I mean, the rich, they, you know, most of their wealth either, again, is in real estate or in equities. So they're literally watching their wealth dry up, and they've got no choice but to move to gold, move to bonds, all right, move to these investments where they make money on money in a safer way. But in order to do so, they've got to cash out. They've got to cash out that equity position. And that's where you as a poor person can win because, again, you can short, you can buy puts, you can buy inverse ETFs, right, and profit off their misery. Stop. You said 20 million. I don't know about 20 million. I think you're rich in America if you got 10 million. If you got 10 million, there's nowhere in America you can't live on $10 million for the most part. 10 million can get you pretty much in any neighborhood. 20 million, that's just excessive. You know, again, that's what I was saying. $1 to $2 million. There's still neighborhoods you can't get in at 1 to 2. I mean, after you buy the house, you're looking at the property taxes and you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? But at 10 million, you know, you might be able to hang around a little bit. You might be able to hang around a little bit. TTNP, shout out to TTNP and Ken. Ken called up and has been calling up for the last like 2 days on TTNP. And he's been giving you guys that stock every time he's called up. So shout out to Ken. That was a big move this morning on TTNP. It didn't hold it, right? Because you had a lot of guys who had been sitting on the stock as it rose higher. They took the opportunity to cash out on those higher prices. The shorter time frames got you in a lot sooner. In fact, let's go and take a look at it. Okay, so a few false signals on the hourly. But again, the daily chart. As you can see here, TTNP. Wow, really picking itself off that RSI floor. Really picking itself off the RSI floor on TTNP. And again, this is another company where you just had a change in sentiment going on with TTNP where people were just looking to really pick this up off the floor. And congrats to them. All right. You say, am I still going to make the show? No, I'm always going to do the show because I don't like the way CNBC and all these other ones talk about the markets, man. You know, I don't like to hear all the fluff pieces. Like I don't care about management and all that. Just show me the chart, tell me where they are right now, give me a few little details and whatnot. You know. So I'm always going to do this. I'd love to do this every day again, honestly, because I'm addicted to this shit. I'm addicted to this trading stuff. You know, I told you guys how, you know, I had put $100 in a penny stock, came back 2 days later, and that sucker was at 300. I was hooked. I was like, fuck. You know, at the time I'm making like $8.50 an hour. And you telling me I just made an extra $200 and I didn't even have to work? I didn't have to clock in anywhere? Show up somewhere I didn't even want to be? And all because some guy sent out a few emails? Oh, I got to get into this. This is the game right here. You know? This is the game right here. You know, ever since then, basically everything I've ever wanted has been paid for by the market. You know, been paid for by the market. I always wanted a Mustang. I got a Mustang. It was a lease, but I got it. You know, got that taken care of. Upgraded where I lived. You know, bought my sister a car. You know. It wasn't fancy. It was an '08 Grand Prix, but I bought it. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like I felt like I was the man. You know? Paid cash. Just walked in. Yeah, I got you. You know? Yeah. Let's keep it going. Somebody brought up, Steven brought up KRE, Regional Banking ETF, brought that up on the last show. Again, the regional banks are going to suffer the most. All right, the regional banks are going to suffer the most. This is a good one to short. This is like basically buying IWM because all these companies are basically in IWM when you look at the regionals. So you know you can trade KRE too because it's very, very liquid. I haven't checked the options. I know the options are pretty liquid. I know the stock is for sure. But KRE is a nice way to play the regional banks. Again, this is going to include your Fifth Thirds, your BBVAs, your SunTrust. Who else is in here? I mean, just your regional plays. You got a few Carolina banks in there. a few out in the Midwest, kind of those kind of small, as the the name suggests, regional banks. All right. Am I investing in futures? Nah, man. I know the futures is pretty liquid, but I don't like the fact. I don't like the fact that sometimes a stock could be, or futures is something else, but it's a 24-hour thing. I mean, I at the end of the day, I like to sleep. You know what I mean? So the thing that frustrated me about Bitcoin, for example, was the fact that it kept going even when I'm sleeping. So I like to trade with alerts, whether it be text alerts and whatnot. And I'm getting, I had Bitcoin for a little bit, and I'd be going to bed, and I'd be getting like text alerts while I'm sleeping, and I'm like, man. And that's the same thing with the futures market, dude. Shit happens like overnight because something in India popped off, and you're like, what the fuck? Gerardo, those semiconductor stocks have pretty much given back their 2018, man. Semiconductors are one of the sectors that's participated in this sell-off in the Qs. There's a semiconductor ETF. You're gonna have to pull that up off top. I can't remember. Isn't it like XL? No, I know XLE is the energy. I know somebody can dig that up for me. The semiconductor ETF. But there's an ETF for that. Oh, is it? Let me see here. Yeah, there it is. Appreciate you. Somebody put that in the chat room. SMH. Yeah, Gerardo. There it is. Yeah, it's pretty much, as I said, giving up 2018. It's giving up 2018 already. It's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. And that was your sign right there. Again, a lot of signals being sent here on the daily. So again, you move up to a higher time frame. You're gonna have to play this a little longer. And as you can see here, oh man, I mean, this is just again just using the trend line here. I mean, this is, as you can see, failing to make new price highs here. As you can see, using that trend line. Oh man, and you can short this as long as it's failing to make a new high, and in the breakdown, just beautiful. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Caller 210, you on the air? What's going on?
What's up, man? It's me, Gerardo.
Hey, Gerardo, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? Yeah, man. I was just gonna share real quick. So I've been following. I subscribe to the black box stocks and everything.
Okay.
And this morning, man, I saw some flow on SMH on there. Bunch of puts at ask and above ask, and I jumped in this afternoon, and we'll see what's up tomorrow. But I don't know if you got to see that this morning.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of SMH flow. Yeah, black box catches it all, man. I mean, there's so many opportunities there when you're using that software, and it's gonna put you in the best situation to win. So I hope you got some time on those options, because I think if you hold on, you continue to win. When you're looking at SMH over the next week, 2 weeks, a month, really.
Yeah, man, black box is great, man. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a holler, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the call, man.
No problem. Hell yeah.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Gerardo. I don't know why I always want to call him Gerardo, but shout out to him for the call. Thank you. This guy's been watching the show for a long time. Appreciate you, bro. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Shout out to the guys who use Black Box, man. And again, if you're aggressive with the software, it pays for itself. If you're aggressive with it, it pays for yourself. You have some guys who just sit in a small chat room, the penny stock room, and just wait for a big runner. You can just sit there and wait for a big runner, and you're going to get those 50, 60%, 100% runner at least maybe twice or three times a month. And you can just sit and do that. Let's take a look at NOK. Somebody bringing up NOK. Yeah, George M. Sorry, George M. saying Bitcoin is when you're sleeping. That's when it volatile. Yeah, because Bitcoin is all about Asia and it's all about these third world countries. Where people don't have trust in their government, and we're getting into that position too. We're becoming a third world nation when you're talking about, lack of trust in government, a government that doesn't work, a government that doesn't, isn't efficient when it comes to management of resources. We're headed in that direction. NOK, yeah, I mean Nokia, yeah, it's a boring stock. Somebody was answered perfectly. I mean, it's a boring stock. There's nothing going on with Nokia. And nothing's been going on with that stock for a long time. I mean, this looks like AMD before they got their act together. So unless you know of Nokia getting themselves into a new line of business, I don't know why they even bother still making phones. I don't even know if they're still in the phone. Are they still in the phone business? I don't even know if they're still in the phone business. I don't even know why they even bother, being the fact that you got iPhone and you got all these fake phones coming out of China, these Chinese carriers that are kicking people's ass outside of America. These Chinese phones are moving into Latin America. They're moving into Africa, Asia. They're kicking ass, man. They're kicking ass. Obviously, people understand quality all over the world, so your Samsung and your iPhones will always still have, when you talk about people who have moved up out of poverty into the middle class, they want nice things, right? When people move out of the middle class, into the middle class, they want nice things. And that's the same all over the world. But for the most part, when you're talking about the poor and developing people, these Chinese companies have really taken that market by storm. Yeah, Nokia still exists. Okay, all right. Cannabis infusion for Nokia. What's my number one pick, long or short? Long or short? Trade Ideas versus Black Box. Well, I'm biased. I love Team Black Box because Team Black Box is just, they just been so good to me, man. They've reached out. They were one of the people that fucked with me first, I sent Trade Ideas an email long ago. But Black Box, man, they were like, yo, we love what you're doing. Woo, woo, woo. They got brothers working there. I mean, it's just really, when you have somebody that just keeps it 100 with you like that, you just got to show them love back, man. So, yeah, Black Boxes just shows a lot of love, to new traders, advanced traders. It just is what it is. The whole world is down. Yeah, well, because America's put a lot of cheap money out into the world, man. America's put a lot of cheap money into the world. And it's only so long you can do that. All right? That's why the whole world is down. You raise interest rates, all of a sudden that money becomes a little bit more expensive to borrow. So the money starts to dry up. And now people can't do things like they want to do because you had a lot of people going around the world with the cheap money. And now, they can't do that. So that starts to reverberate around the world, man. Particularly in China. If you remember the conversation in regards to China, that's been like a 10-year conversation where you've had a lot of American investors going to China to invest through a lot of Chinese people, right? Because China has a thing where you've got to have a 50-50 partnership with them. So you got to find a Chinese local or a Chinese company to invest in whatever you want to do. Well, when that money stops coming in, what do you think happens? You know what I'm saying? So Trump signs the opioids law. It's not going to do nothing. It's not going to do nothing. At the end of the day, these pharmaceutical companies pay these doctors to give that medication out. If I'm a doctor out of medical school, I got $200,000 in student loans, and you're giving me $75,000 a year to push this drug, I'm gonna push it on you. I don't give a fuck about you. You're a name on a clipboard. You know what I mean? With some of these doctors. Have you been to the doctor in the last couple of years? Unless some of you guys are lucky enough to have a doctor you've known for many years. These people treat you like a name on a clipboard, man. You know? Yeah, you're going to have your pleasantries. But for the most part, oh, okay, I think you're suffering from this, and this. So I'm going to go ahead and prescribe you blah, blah, blah. You don't even know anything about the drug. You're just taking this man's or this woman's advice because you think, they're a licensed professional by the state and national authorities. But you don't know that this guy got seen by a pharmaceutical rep an hour before you came in. And he said, hey, look, doc, we've got this medication here and here. You put this out on the back end. We're going to give you this, and that. Do you read the article of the cartels funneling money through Tesla? What? Why they got to do that? They could just do it through Bitcoin. I've always said Bitcoin is the way. I mean, if you trying to launder money, there's no better way to launder money than through Bitcoin. If you're trying to launder money. So I don't even understand why they got to do it through Tesla. I got to read that article and see how they're doing it. TTNP will benefit from the bill. Okay. Shout out to TTNP. All right. Let's see the ACRX. I know it's a penny stock. Here's ACRX. Again, I'd love to see a little bit more consistency in that chart, but preferably, when you go into these higher time frames, you want to see a little more consistency. But I see it's got quite some disappointments here and there in the chart. But so far, I mean, you said getting a big rush of volume coming into the stock over the last 3 weeks. So that's always a good sign. Increased volume could mean increased prices, right? Because higher demand typically means higher prices. All right. Dirty Mix, you said Bitcoin is the worst way to launder money? Okay, maybe I have my understanding of the technology wrong. Can you explain why it's the worst way? Educate me. You said Bitcoin is the worst way to launder money. Because I know the transactions are recorded through the ledger, but if it's not controlled by an entity, right? I mean, the federal government, for example, it can, you go in through the banks, they were reporting. I mean, the banks can report your deposits, right? Over 10 grand or whatnot. You can if you open up more than 5 bank accounts, isn't it something like that? In a 30-day period, that gets reported. So all kinds of like weird ass issues can happen when you're using cash. So I figure, well, with Bitcoin, I mean, you can put in a $20 million transaction. People can see it, but it's just another transaction. You said altcoins would be better. Yeah, I guess altcoins wouldn't be bad if you aren't sensitive to the price changes in altcoins. All right, so I didn't see anybody bring up NVIDIA today. I don't know if maybe nobody in here is interested in that stock, but again, here's another one. You want to go after these companies that have seen massive price increases, right? And again, great company, right? They're going to put up a stupid number. It's going to be a really, really impressive number. All right. November 15th, NVIDIA. So that's right around the corner. You're a bit oversold here, so you should see a little bit of a bounce Well, you hope to see a bounce in it shortly, but again, it could very well continue to go south for a while. But, boy, look at this. I mean, this is the last 3 weeks. NVIDIA, look at that, man. Ugh. Yeah, today was really ugly for the stock, but, again, practically giving. I mean, we're basically on the border, giving up all of 2018's gains. All of it. Shirley Lewis, no, Shirley. I'm answering people's questions. I see your tickers. No, man. I don't have any hard feelings with. There's nothing like that. Not at all. Medical Properties Trust. Medical Properties Trust. MPW. Medical Properties Trust, 1.63%. I don't know too much about it. I don't see very much volume here. I don't know too much about the company. But I've noticed, Shirley Lewis, you like these kind of slower pace stocks that don't have too much of the hoopla. Intel versus NVIDIA. Let's take a look at Intel. It's been a minute since I've taken a look at the stock. Here we have Intel selling off too. Intel, that's another very, very liquid option play as well. Much cheaper than NVIDIA. Don't get the same boom, but again, another way to play technology if you can't afford QQQ or some of the other plays. INTC, not bad. About another stock that's selling off pretty aggressively. All right. Okay, Trader 123 only bear you follow. That's what's up. Some people say I'm pretty pessimistic about the market. I would say I'm more leaning to the bear, but that's just because I've been kind of brainwashed on the whole economy by the Ron Paul situation. You know. When I first got into trading, I started, see who's this clown Ron Paul here, and I started looking into what he was saying. It was like, oh, he's spitting some real shit, and everything he would say, I'd go check it out, and it'd be true, about the Federal Reserve and the fact that we can't find out who owns the Federal Reserve, and even the president can't find out who owns the Federal Reserve, and I'm like, okay, and how I've been learning how they affect the market, so I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, Amazon down big time too. That's why somebody had brought up Amazon and their earnings situation, and I think that's what a lot of people are waiting on. That's what a lot of people are waiting on. In fact, hold on. I should be following Amazon more closely, but it's so fucking expensive. Yeah, man, I mean, like, to get a decent position in Amazon, you got to put up like fucking 15 grand. And I don't mind putting, like, I got to, like, for example, I had a position today that was like, when I put it in, it was like $7,500. Now it's up to 12 grand, 13 grand. But I don't mind putting in decent money. But Amazon is just like, you put 15 up and you're just looking at it because, 15 grand is a lot of money. I don't give a damn how wealthy I get over time. You got to understand where I come from, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking paper food stamps where you cut it out the flip book. You know what I'm saying? So I know the value of a dollar. Let me see. 3. Okay. All right. So the consensus is the whisper number is 344 a share. We'll see what they deliver. I think it's tomorrow morning, right? Okay. Yeah. Amazon. Look, it's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be a lot of money to be made, man. Amazon's an expensive stock. There's going to be a lot of money to be made there if things don't go right for Amazon. Yeah, this could get really ugly for them, man. It could get really ugly for them. You know, look, this is a stock that goes up $60, $70 when they deliver a good number. If it's a bad number, you know, it could be. I mean, you could be looking at a 3-digit turn here in Amazon. Easy. That's easy. I mean, it was down $100 today. You know, they said it's going to be New Jersey. Okay. And that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, New Jersey's got a huge port. I am kind of surprised because I know New Jersey, I mean, property is getting pretty expensive out there. A lot of people from New Jersey are moving down south, man. I've been seeing a lot of New York, New Jersey plates down here in North Carolina. But I know you still got some deals out there in Jersey, right? Yeah, I mean, I know you still got some pockets of areas where people are still growing up there. Yeah. You want to play 12,000 in Amazon tomorrow? Okay. All right. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. When do they deliver the number, though? Let me see here, man. Amazon earnings. Because all these websites are giving me. Is it tomorrow morning? Because they were the first $1 trillion company. Now they've sold off since. By the way, Amazon says aftermarket. Okay, yeah, I see that. And I hate that these websites are all giving different numbers with earnings. I mean, god damn, and NASDAQ has to do a better job too, because I used to rely on NASDAQ.com and their numbers aren't even right. So they need to have these companies give a definite date, because it's not even the same date quarter after quarter. You know, one quarter it'll be like a week after, and then the next quarter is another 2 weeks. It's like, god damn, man, they should have a set day the whole year that they put out the number, and that day that you know they're coming out, so you know months ahead of time. Yeah, everybody's headed south. Yeah. Everybody's headed south. Shout out to Jersey, man. They got a lot of Boricuas up there in Jersey, man. I've been seeing them here moving down south. That's what we've been seeing, a lot of Dominican hair salons. And where I used to stay at up in Greensboro, dude opened up a Dominican house. He was from Jersey. So it's like, yeah, man, people coming down here because life in up there is getting expensive, man. Getting expensive. People can't afford that. You know, like I said, over 50% of Americans make less than $20 an hour, I think it is. You might want to Google that. I know 54% of African Americans make less than $15 an hour. So, you know, once you get above $900 a month in rent, typically for an area, you'll start to see massive exit. So, you know, these places up north are getting really expensive. Forced to resign CEO from Alibaba, Mr. Ma. What? Hold on, what? I don't see anything about that. Jack Ma was kidnapped? Man, that guy's got security up the ass, man. He was threatened with a gun, kidnapped, and taken to Las Vegas. Here he was kidnapped. Okay, I'm seeing something. I just typed in Jack Ma kidnapped. I guess it's an old story or something like that. Jack Ma. Yeah, they said he was declined from like 32 jobs or some shit like that. He's got some weird stories behind his rise. Pretty interesting shit. MU. I see somebody in the chat bringing up MU. MU's another company. Here again, this is another one I've been following too. Again, great stock to short, but again, there's so many opportunities out there. And as a trader, you've got limited capital, so you've got to choose where to put your money. But MU is another one that I've been following here. Again, RSI, failure to make new highs, and that means a failure to make higher prices. And as you can see here, as long as the trend stays pretty much the same, MU is going to continue to sell and go lower. So here's MU. For the most part, great opportunity for you to short, and has been for the last several weeks now, as you can see, since MU has been a big loser for the time being. All right. Yeah, MU's been pretty bad lately. MU's pretty bad lately. They said they lost a big data center business out there, right? Yeah, they got some issues out there in China. All right. Let's keep it going. Somebody bring up XXII. What's going on, Gregory Hall? XXII, it's a marijuana play. I've been really disappointed in this one because, for the most part, you've had a lot of marijuana stocks running over the last couple months, and XXII has been pretty much been left out of the party. So I'm just really disappointed with this play down 7% today. It's just been where you at, man? That's the problem with that. Where are you at? Chinese Communist Mafia. Yeah, Wayne Gordon, you posted up an interesting thing because at the end of the day, yeah, China is still very much a communist country. They've got a president for life now, and I forgot his name, Xi Jinping or whatever his name is. He's been declared president for life. So he's basically kind of like their Russian Putin. And you see Trump trying to be the same way. He's trying to be president for life too. They're not saying it, but that's what he wants too. He's trying to be president for life. And I mean, they can go into because y'all too sensitive. So I'm not gonna go into all that. Apple was the second company to hit $1 trillion. Yeah. Interesting thing on Apple. I saw that comment on Ron Paul talk. I knew he was in the right place. A smart man. Yeah, Ron Paul is a genius. Ron Paul is, again, not to beat the topic up, but Ron Paul is one of those guys that when he's gone, it's gonna be like, wow, this guy was really onto something here, but we weren't listening. And because everything that he says is just spot on, but the forces behind keeping the balloon growing are so strong and so well capitalized. And plus, it's important for us to keep Americans in the dark about what's going on with our economic system in this country, Keep it in the dark. Our schools are horrible, man. You go into some of these schools today, they're horrible. You got teachers fucking the students because the teachers are damn near a couple years older than the students, and that's what public school is now. It's just like a big ass daycare center. I told you guys how, at my high school, it was a big thing for guys to go get head in the dugout in the baseball, at the little baseball field. During lunch, you go out there and get head in the dugout. Let me see him use nothing. What else you guys know before we wrap up the show? Did Ron Paul say the bubble is controlled by the Fed? Yeah, he's he's always been saying that. The Federal Reserve, again, this is a private bank, man. In the dugout. Yeah, absolutely, Corey Kwan, in the dugout, bro. Let me see here. DOC, is that a ticker, DOC? Physicians Trust. Okay. Looks like a slow and steady play. Looks like one of those slow and steady plays. They're spamming cake but you want to. Oh, I'm thinking cake because you trying to talk about some ass. When you were typing in cake, I was like, this guy's. I didn't know it was an actual ticker. I thought you just was trolling or something, just putting in ass because cake is ass. So I'm thinking this guy's talking about cake, or is he just trolling or what? Okay. Well, yeah, cake. You remember cake used to mean money too, because I remember dudes were like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying to get my cake up," but they don't. I haven't heard that phrase in a long time. Because cake used to mean, your money. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that said in a minute. The Cheesecake Factory stock. Look, this is the Cheesecake Factory. I know. Look, restaurants. When the market goes south, restaurants suffer. So I'm not a fan of restaurants in a bad economy. I'm not a fan of that situation. This at the end of the day, restaurants are considered consumer cyclical, so they suffer when consumers are tight on cash. So I'm not a fan of going along that sector in this kind of situation. If we're going into the kind of situation I think we're going into. All right. Yeah, and you might want to look at that too. This could be a situation too where you might be starting to see a trend developing here where you'll start seeing that eventually just break lower. It looks very similar to like what we are seeing in Amazon, where you rising, having trouble making new highs, then you get that big drop eventually coming in to that play. All right. What happened to the hotels? I haven't seen the hotels in a minute. Somebody give me a hotel stock. I thought La Quinta was LQ, but maybe I'm tripping. Somebody give me a good hotel stock. Wynn? Yeah, that's a hotel, but I know that's more gambling than anything, but God damn. Wynn is another one too. Wynn is liquid as fuck on the option side. You remember we used to look at Wynn real closely when they had that whole situation where the guy said this guy was getting his nuts sniffed. Like, look into that, dude. He told one of his assistants to sniff his nuts, bro. How the fuck do you want your nuts sniffed? Like in his office. Steve Wynn is a weird ass dude, bro. Weird ass dude. But I know you guys heard. Speaking of guys who wanted their nuts played with, did you guys hear about that guy who was pretending to be autistic? He was pretending to be autistic, right? And he would have this guy would have women call. He would call women to his house to give him a bath. Man, that was a funny ass story, man. That was a funny ass story. He was pretending to be autistic, and my thing is, he had his mom in on the joke though. So I'm looking at him like either your mom is weird as fuck, or she's just a down ass fucking mom. He was pretending to be autistic, having random women come in and give him baths from Craigslist or some other website. And his mom was calling in these women to schedule the showers. It's fucking hilarious. Look this up. Look that up. Man pretending to be autistic for baths or something like that. You can Google it. It should come up. Freaking hilarious. Freaking hilarious. What's going on, Rich Million? I see Rich Million in the house tonight. I think this might be him calling here. Shout out to McDonald's. God damn. Yeah, that automation really working for them. MCD. Okay, 559. You're in the house. What's up?
How you doing, Sal?
Hey, Rich Million. What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. I just wondered if you could. I was wondering if you could show us T-Rep.
Okay.
What do you think about it, man? I want you to talk more this time instead of me rambling on.
No, well, I'm really excited about what's happened. I mean, we made a video about it. It's up higher. You hit nearly 10 cents on the stock from where we talked about it. So I like putting out content like this. I mean, where you put out a ticker and things go right, and investors make money. So I'm really excited of where T-Rep is going. I'm excited the fact that guys are holding, and although you see some profit taken today, that's perfectly normal.
Oh,
and
it's nothing. I'm sorry. One thing I was going to say was that on the weekly chart, if people notice how small the volume is, and look how big the candle is. Mm-hmm. So as the time goes on, one thing I want people to understand is if they have 240,000 shares, they have 1% of the float. That's massive. Mm. And one thing I want to tell, I pulled an all-nighter yesterday, and I sent the right people the messages. I got this guy Smart Money. He's been on Investor Hub for over 10 years. I got this guy Lone Wolf. He's been trading for 9+ years. I got some guys that are like 60 years old. I sold them on it. And these guys, if you go on the boards, they're not talking about it. They're just sitting back, just eating it up on the bid, because that's the only way to accumulate now. Once we pass 10 cents, you guys, obviously we're going to go 10, 11, 12 cents. We'll come back to 8 cents or 7 cents and then go back up. But once we close above the 10 cents, that's when things are going to get real. That's when there's some people that only trade stocks that are above 10 cents for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. And when they do their due diligence and they're like, hey, this company's making a profit. Another thing, the first or the second week, around the 10th of November, we're going to get Q3 press release. If you go to 2017, 2016, you go back in time, around this time is when they release the press releases, and they've always released the press release after hours. So what I've been doing is I've been calling the corporate office, leaving a message, because I've talked to the CEO once. I called him one more time. He didn't pick up. But I'm leaving a message, hey, guys, release the press release pre-market, so that brings us a lot more people. And if somebody, listen, if you have, say, $1,000, you get a starter for $500 and expect the stock to come down. If it comes down, okay, you can average down. If it doesn't come down, cool, you're in the money. And if you want to just bid for shares, just outbid ASCM. One thing I wanted to clear up, Sal, was that so all I do is penny stocks. Mm-hmm. And I know this area pretty well. When we're talking about shorts, it's not retailers, average traders like us shorting. It's not those guys. It's the market makers. So if you have time in the morning, just look at the market maker, ASCM. Notice that market maker. You could do a little experiment, right? Anybody could. If there's ASCM bidding, just put the bid 1/10 of a cent above it. What you will notice is that market maker will outbid you. That market maker wants the shares sold to them because they need to cover. That's the reason the volume is so low, yet the price is staying high. The price isn't crashing, even if people sell on the market, because it's the market makers that need to cover. So this is, if retailers work as a team and accumulate, retailers are going to make money off like these big big market makers like that. They are the ones that are hurting. And this stock, just want to say, dilution is the one thing that kills any trend. You know, I think soon we're going to get people that only trade, you know, technical indicators, and they're going to be like, holy crap, I've never seen something like this. You know, on the weekly, on the monthly, on the daily, it's unreal. If you pull up the 60-minute, you notice the RSI has reset on the 60-minute, you know, and it's ready to make its new highs again. And this is, I say be a pig with the real one, you guys. And that's the one that can give you very high returns. You know, make sure you ride free shares, I say. You know, it's everything I'm saying is for entertainment purposes, not financial advice. So just ride your free shares, man. Let your winner roll. Good stocks don't come around often. And when you get them early, get them. Because there's big boys right now that are loading, man. I got the right people in, and these guys are. Hey, man. Sal gave me the opportunity. He put that little video up, dude. I don't care about no followers. I care about making money, dude.
Absolutely.
That's what counts at the end of the day. And look, and we called it. This stock consolidated for 2 weeks, man. The people that wanted to sell out, they're gone, dude. New blood's coming in the game now. And these fools, you know, they're not trying to flip for a little 20, 30%, you know. They see it for what it is. And I got some guys that are like, hey, send me the due diligence. I'll email it to them. These guys don't even mess around with Twitter, man. They got their own thing going, you know, that I'm being a young guy. You know, these guys have been trading for 50, 60 years. Another thing, if you do decide to get the stock today, tomorrow, till Saturday, do not, if you're on iHub, do not post an iHub because we want to bring our average comments down, and we're going to hit it hard on Sunday. So we're on the breakout boards, meaning all the eyes are on us, and we're not gonna comment on there. So don't think the market is dead or something. You know, people will send you private messages to shake you to take your shares. Don't read your messages. Read the chart, and just know, dude, the float is locked. If you look at the monthly volume is hitting around 20 million. Remember, the float is only 24 million. So the boys from back in the day, they've sold out. This is new support.
There it is, man.
We're building a new base to go higher.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for the call, Rich Million. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Rich Million. I appreciate it. On Trep. Yes, indeed. Yeah, damn, Trep is up, man. Shout out to the guys who are going on Trep. Again, we made the video. We put it out there. These ticker is up, man. I mean, you know, I think we were talking about the stock. We were at just below 0.40. You said what my honest opinion on it is? I mean, it's an OTC stock, man. I mean, like I said, like you know, it's an OTC stock, bro. You know, it's you got to know what you're doing. You know, at the end of the day, you know, if we were talking about, you know, I'm a lot more comfortable talking about what the potential is when we talk, you know, many of these higher price stocks, these companies that you know have a little more definite, you know, of a business history. So, you know, again, you see what he's got to do. I mean, you know, listening to his conversation, you know, you got to hit the boards, you got to make calls, you got to get people excited about the play, let people know what the news is. So, you know, there's a lot of extra steps that Rich Million is taking upon himself to do to get the ball rolling on this, you know. Yeah, so do your research, man. Do your research on it. Do your research. I can't stick my neck out because at the end of the day, I got to come back. You know, I got to come back and do a show again, and I don't need people calling me, telling me what I did or what I said or didn't work or anything like that. Hold on, let me fix my webcam here. God damn, these damn green screens are so damn sensitive. There we go. All right. No, it's just it's not. No, I wouldn't say it's a pump because he's not sending out any emails or anything like that. But it's a lot of work that you've got to do. It's a lot to do, and you guys got to be. If you're in Trep, you better be grateful that you've got somebody like Rich Million behind the play that's willing to put in the work, because a lot of guys don't have. Guys who are willing to make calls, willing to get people excited, build a base behind a company and its operations, to get people excited about, hey, look at the great things this company is doing. All right? Great call. Yeah, a lot of good fundamentals. Yeah, and the company's doing well. I mean, it is a company that, unlike many OTC companies, is generating a return and building shareholder capital. A lot of them aren't. So you got to get the word about that out. And once people understand, then the stock goes up. Yeah. Definitely follow him on Twitter, Ebanar. If you're into those kind of plays, follow him on Twitter. Okay. But I'm telling you, if you're into some easy bucks, if you're into that easy money, then, what's up with that NVIDIA, though? You know what I mean? NVIDIA puts. If you're trying to talk about some easy money, All right. And I always tell myself it's going to be a short show because I'm really wanting to find out who this MAGA bomber is. I'm really excited to see how this investigation is going to come down. You got some people already saying, man, this is a hoax. This is a deep state. This is a deep state hoax. That the Democrats sent bombs to themselves, and why all the bombs didn't work, and oh my God, come on, man, come on, people. So I've really been planted to the national networks. What? Come on, you think it's a distraction? These were real bombs, man. People are crazy out here, man. Nah, I don't believe it, man. Read the book, The Turner Diaries. You know what I mean? I ordered the book a couple weeks ago, The Turner Diaries, man, and it's very telling, man. You got some weird, crazy people out here who are willing to kill people, willing to drag America into a part where it really falls apart, man. They really believe that if America gets into chaos, right? You kill a couple high-profile people, you get certain people triggered enough to where they begin rioting, and America just falls apart. That from that destruction will rise a new kind of nationalist America, and it's really, really disturbing. It's really, really disturbing what some people want to see happen to this great country, and it's really important for us to stay vigilant and stay strong, stay strong when so many people have no real values or proclaim to have Christian values, and what they are Satanists, if anything. And it's important for us to stay vigilant. Yeah. So look into that book. It's called The Turner Diaries. That's what these bombers are doing. The Unabomber, McVeigh, all of these guys who are sending bombs out, who are out here killing people. We had this situation in Kentucky where this guy goes into a supermarket today, and he aimed and he killed only the black people. We had something happen again like that at a restaurant not too long ago. So read that book, The Turner Diaries, man. The Turner Diaries, that's the book that they're taking all their game from. They're taking all their game from that book, The Turner Diaries. And you gotta be vigilant, man. You know, you gotta be vigilant. That's why I had that episode. What is that? Almost 2 years ago now, about using your First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights. You know. Now I carry a piece. You gotta be vigilant out here. You'd rather be caught with one than caught without one. I'm telling you. You know, don't be one of these people that's got to call the police. You're not going to get an opportunity to call the police. You know, when you get ran up on somebody who's read the book, The Turner Diaries, and believes that that's a call for him to act. Yeah. He said the far left. Yeah, absolutely. The far left is just, they're weird, because even the far left, a lot of those people, they believe in child pedophilia. You know, they believe in a lot of the weird, disturbing. So again, we just have to be vigilant as, you know, people who believe in the Constitution, because the people on the far left, they don't believe in the Constitution, and the people on the far right, they don't believe in the Constitution. They say they do, but they don't. They don't believe in the Constitution. They don't believe in the Constitution, and they don't believe in what the founding fathers proclaimed. For the most part, they believe in nationalism. I mean, you guys had somebody he just came out and said what he is. I mean, we had the president of the United States of America said he was a nationalist. You don't believe in the Constitution. There's no. You can't tell me that if you read Jefferson's papers, you read some of these things. Yes, they were all about country, but they weren't nationalists. You know, it's crazy, man. You don't believe in the Constitution, man. Yeah, man. So we gotta be vigilant. That's why I'm saving this for the end of the show. We're about to wrap it up here and get up out of here. But man, we're in dangerous times, man. Can you imagine if they killed Obama today? You know what would have happened? You know, you might have, I don't know about riots, but possibly could try to kill Hillary Clinton, try to kill Eric Holder, Maxine Waters. You know, we this MAGA bomber. You know, this is the real deal here, folks. This is the real deal. This is the real deal here, folks. So you guys look at that. Look into that book, The Turner Diaries, man. Order it and see, because that's the game plan. The game plan is in that book, The Turner Diaries. That's the game plan. So that's why you got to be vigilant. You know, you got to be vigilant. You got to be self-aware. You got to look for guys who are using cues, right? Cues like, for example, guys with black shoes and white shoelaces. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of these, if you look at some of these bombers and these shooters, that's the code sign that they give each other. Black shoes with white shoelaces. You know, that's another code. Shaved heads. You know, you every time I go out, I'm very vigilant. You know, if I see somebody matching a certain description, I got my hand literally on my piece, bro. I'll have my hand on my piece. I'm like ready to pull on this dude. You know, because I don't know what is I don't know, you know, who this guy is. Every time I'm at the theater, you know, and I told you guys this before, when you're at the movie theater, now I'm always curious at any movie theater I'm always, you know, I'm looking at anybody who's coming into the theater any type of weird time, middle of the movie, you know, before the, you know, I'm always, because I'm at the top, because I'm like, okay, if somebody pulls in, I'm pulling. You know what I'm saying? I'm pulling on you. Because I'd rather shoot you and then have, you know, explanation later than to watch you shoot a bunch of people and then, you know what I'm saying, when you get warmed up, then I'm starting to shoot at you. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's the only thing I fear about myself, is that I'm ready, bro. I'm just so ready. I go to the range a lot. You know what I'm saying? And and again, circumstances are very, very low when you're out in public, but still, as someone who is adamant about my Second Amendment rights, you have to stay prepared because we're living in a crazy country where people have lost their damn minds, man. And, in a shooting situation, an active shooter situation, rather, one thing that active shooters do not like is resistance. One thing they do not like is any kind of resistance, for that matter. So sometimes just getting a shot off, just one shot, could save, dozens of lives, or hundreds, depending on your situation. I got a Draco. Oh man. No, I don't have any bump stocks. You know what I mean? They're gotten rid of those now, but I'm seeing they still sell them though, don't they? They still sell it. I still see them on the internet. The bump stocks and stuff like that. I still see them for sale. I'm in North Carolina. You said you don't even go in the theater? You said he got the pirate special powder and pellets. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And people are mad cool in these ranges, man. I like to go to the range and I don't like going in the range where it's a lot of people because I don't trust motherfuckers. People are weird too, and even at the range. I watch my back at the range too because motherfuckers are weird. I don't know. But I like going in the mornings. I like Mondays. I like Wednesdays a lot. When it's really light. Just maybe 2 people, 3 people, and you go in there. Get a 3D printed gun. I don't know about all that. Because the failure rates on those 3D printed guns, too, are high, man. You look into those failure rates. Some things be cracking and shit. If you can find one. I don't even know if you can find one, but I saw videos of people having cracked 3D guns and shit. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's got to get your Second Amendment game up, man, because I'm telling you, the bad guys got their game up. The bad guys got their game up, and they're hoping you don't, and they know you don't. They know like you call the police. That's why they take advantage of people. And, especially when you go into some of these inner city communities, all the bad guys have guns, and the good, hard-working people don't have guns, to their own detriment. And that's why those neighborhoods are like the way they are. But when you're going to some of these nicer neighborhoods, the bad guys know that the good people have guns. They know the good people got guns, and they're going to shoot them guns. And that's why a lot of times bad guys don't fuck with good neighborhoods, because they know them people will pull on you. You know what I'm saying? Some people will pull on you, man. Those people will pull on you. Yeah, the thing about being a gun owner too, you got to be careful, because when you buy a gun, you're gonna buy another one, and then you're gonna buy another one, and you're gonna buy another one. So you got to be careful, because it can get addictive. And I got a little 4-year-old. So you got to be careful with these, you start getting addicted. Now you have all these guns in the house. You kind of got to be careful with what you're doing. You got to be careful with what you're doing. All right. Yeah, man. You're going to get one and you get the other, and then you get the other, you get the other one. You know? Absolutely. So what's my favorite rifle? Hey man, I don't know the rifles like that. I'm not a fan of the. I have no clue of the rifles. I have a 45, man, and I don't like talking about the brand because every time I say the brand that I have, everybody laughs at me. But it's never jammed. It's never jammed. I got into the high points. My first gun was a high point, and everybody like, oh, those fucking jam, but it's never jammed. It's never jammed, and I like the boom of a 45. You know, I like the boom. I like the size of the bullet. I like the bang. You know, it's never jammed one time. You know, but it brand new, and it's less than $300. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody says High Point is ass, but it was a good first gun. It was a good first gun, and I'd go out with it. You know, I'd go out with it. Now, nobody told me though that like carrying a 45 is heavy as fuck. You know, after a while, it's just fucking like a brick on your fucking leg, man. You know, but if you're starting out, they make very nice starter weapons. You know what I'm saying? If you just have a couple $100, you're not really too sure about this. You know, you just need some decent protection. You know, they're fine. They're fine little things to hold on your person. All right. You said Desert Eagle. See, guys with Desert Eagles, 45 Springfields, 50 caliber gun, 50 cal gun. That's ridiculous. And man, and you go to look. Let me tell you something. You go to some of these gun ranges, man. You got people who have so much knowledge about guns. It's not scary, but it's just like, God damn, man. Like, you must think about guns 24/7, man, because they can tell you everything about a damn gun. Yeah, I got a 380 this, and I got about 50 guns. Like 50 guns? How? What? I'm tripping. 4 or 5, I'm tripping. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this. You got 50 guns? You know? And then you got some guys who are just really brand conscious. You know, you got some guys who are just it's gonna be Colt or nothing. You got some guys who are Taurus or nothing. You got some guys who are Smith and Wesson or nothing. I mean, you got all of those. You know. They said I was the Macker bomber. Look, I ain't got time to build no fucking bombs, man. I'm black. Shit. I don't got no time to be building no goddamn bombs. You know, these were crudely made bombs. This guy went to goddamn Harbor Freight and, you know, went and tried to put a bomb together. That's basically what this clown tried to do. He went to Harbor Freight. He went and bought some fertilizer and some bolts and shit like that, and a cheap Timex timer, and try to put a bomb together. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what this guy tried to do. 380 in the summer, 45 for the winter for those big ass coats. Oh man. It's like people have shoes on, man. The people had got guns. Yeah, that's true. You know what? I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's like guys who collect shoes. That's a good analogy. You know, the guys who collect shoes, they collect guns, right? You know, that's true. The thing about those guys, though, You'd be surprised to know that a lot of those guys who got a shitload of guns, they tend to be, real targets for home invasions because people know they got a shitload of guns because they tend to have a big ass mouth about it. And that's not everywhere, but a lot of those guys tend to have, and it'd be inside jobs like within the family type shit, where somebody in the family's like, yeah, he's got a crap load of guns, man. Next thing you know, this guy's house is, robbed and shit like that. So they tend to be victims of home invasions a lot. Yeah. I was in a gun range in Matthews, and 3 hours were shooting AKs. Everybody was looking. Yeah, I mean, look, when look, even, I'm not even going to lie, when I'm at the airport, and I see a guy who's Arabic, about to board a plane or board my flight, the media has fucked with your mind to a point where you look at him. But, you got the discretion to know, hey, this guy really ain't shit. But at the end of the day, your mind is like, because you've been brainwashed, you're like, okay, is this guy up to something? You said the AK is weak now. Shit, that AK still kill people, man. Somebody said the AK is weak now, but AK can kill a lot of people. An AK can kill a lot of people now. And I'm not talking about some of these AKs that are sold here in America. These ones that are floating outside in the third world. These brought to America, they can cause a lot of damage, man. You know what I mean? These AR-15s too. A lot of these guys are modifying the shit out of those guns, causing a lot of damage, man. Causing a lot of damage. So again, you got to be vigilant and know your space where you are. This is a crazy world out here. We're sitting here talking about this right now. Somebody's sitting in their bedroom right now planning, whether it be a high school shooting, a job shooting, restaurant. This is America right now, man. This is America right now. We had this shooting today where a guy's like, yeah, he confronted the shooter and started talking with them. And he confronted the shooter. This is the situation in Kentucky. Let me see if I can download that video. Let me show you, because I want to show you guys. I want to see if I can download that video. You won't believe this. You won't even believe this. Let me see where are the bookmarks at. God, I hate this new Microsoft browser because they don't even tell you where you're. Saved in favorites. Okay, so where are my favorites at? Hold on. Hold on, let me show you guys. This guy was having a goddamn conversation with a damn shooter. If I'm confronting the shooter, I'm not having no damn conversation with him, man. Again, I'm popping off at you. Let me show you guys this video, man. Because you won't believe this. All right. Save desktop 5E. Okay. I'm about to play it right now. 5E. All right, here's the video.
Happened after that.
The guy had walked up on him and had a gun in his hand, and my dad had his gun drawn. said that he wouldn't shoot if he didn't shoot. So my dad just stayed there, and then the guy took off down the parking lot.
So your dad was confronting the shooter.
Yeah, yeah.
Did that man say anything, or how did your dad figure out something wasn't right?
He didn't realize it was him till he'd already seen the gun by his side. He said, "Don't shoot me, I won't shoot you." He's like, "Whites don't kill whites."
He said what?
Whites don't kill whites.
And again, a very chaotic scene out here. Police.
Yeah, crazy ass shit, man. You know, crazy ass shit out here, bro. Crazy ass shit out here. So, I mean, this is an active shooter situation. People having conversations out here. You know, this is crazy. Active shooter situation. Bodies on the floor, and you're having a conversation with the shooter. I'm not having no conversation with you, man. I don't care what color you. I'm not having no conversation. I just saw you shoot somebody. They're laying there bleeding. I'm not having no conversation with you, man. Rich Million said move to South America. I'm seriously thinking about it, man, because America's going in a different direction. My only problem is that I feel like I can't leave the country until people's internet, you know, you go to these other places in the world, the internet is fucking garbage, man. Like I was just in the Congo recently, you know, and you know, internet is like $10. It's like $50 for 1 gigabyte. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Lord Yase, you said you're a felon. You can't pack legally. Been shot 11. Damn. That's more than goddamn 50. Rich Million said you're moving next year. Yeah, South America is not. I mean, I like the fact that, you know, not having to pay U.S. taxes. I think that's always good because, you know, that's what the rich do. The rich have tax havens. You know, it's us who are, you know, living in America. You know, those of you guys who got regular good 9-to-5 jobs, you're paying your taxes, you're doing it right. You know, and it's the wealthy people who are, you know, your large shareholder. And these people aren't paying anything, man. These people aren't paying anything. You know, we're the fools out here paying our taxes, doing this, and we're, you know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy shit. Rich Million, Rich, that MLC is not a pump and dump. That's hilarious. He said you'd move to Ghana. Shout out to Ghana. Been there. Beautiful people, quiet country. Very peaceful country. Very, very peaceful. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. I know I've been saying that for the last like hour and a half. But I know I'm going to be up all night watching this news, trying to figure out. You watch Twitter, too, watching the Twitter back and forth between the Alex Jones, Proud Boy, Turner Diary crowd versus the liberal Nancy Pelosi. And you know, what's that, Mangla? NAMBLA crowd on the left, North American Man Boy Love Association on the left. They're on the far left. They preach grown men having sex with children. So it's a crazy world, man. It's a crazy country we live in right now. You say Alex Jones banned for Twitter? Yeah, Alex has been banned for Twitter, but the crowd is still there, though. The crowd is still, I mean, you know, he still has his crowd. I mean, you type in Alex Jones, you got people who made it their job to be his voice on Twitter. The 5G towers. Yeah, people are saying the 5G towers cause cancer. You know, I don't know. I got to do some more research on that. But, you know, when you read what people are saying about 5G is the same thing that they were saying about 3G and 4G. So I don't know what the scope of that is. At the end of the day, I do think we're all going to die thanks to all of these electronics. I think it's a lot like cigarettes, where we don't know what we're doing until it's too late, right? And I think, you know, us holding these cell phones to our bodies like this, you know, 20 hours a day or whatever it is that you guys are having your phone so close, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. All right. And we'll figure it out eventually. So hopefully we're not killing ourselves as we do this. But I've seen some people do tests where they keep a cell phone next to a plant, and they keep a cell phone next to something that, you know, organic, and it starts to die over time and all that kind of shit. So it's some scary ass shit out here we don't know about, this technology that we're using that's making our life easier, but maybe it could be killing us at the same time. I don't know. It's all in due time. All we can do is live and let live. All right. So again, man, press like on this video if you haven't already. It's been a great show. I really enjoy you guys following and watching my show. You know, this is a small little thing, a little production that I put on. I appreciate the guys who enjoy it. Shout out to Lord Yase. Thank you so much for coming back and watching the show. Shout out to all the people who've been watching me for so long. I really just enjoy it, man, because again, like Rich Million was saying, it's not about followers. It's really just about making money, being able to take care of yourself and your family, being able to just, you know, go out and not, you know, stress so much over money and things like that, because you've got a skill where you can go out into the marketplace and take advantage of these inefficiencies that are being created, you know, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly basis, you know, because things aren't perfect. Things aren't perfect. All right. Appreciate you, Rel, R-E-L-L. Appreciate you, sir. All right, so let me go ahead and start the track. You guys know what it is. Every party has to come to an end. Closing time has come above us, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I hope you can. Let's see. I hope you can. You guys hear that at all? I don't want to make it too loud. Good night, William Roof. I appreciate you. Rich Million, thank you. Have a good night. Legendary 8s, appreciate you. Money Stay Woke, thank you. 3 Hooks, appreciate you, sir. Eban R, thank you so much for the call, or for the messages. Anybody who's watching in the future, thank you so much. My people who were in here earlier, Mr. JRH, Sloppy Bukaki, Corey Kwan, Desert Edge, Trader 123, Jeff Saint, Eban R, Stephen Pacheco, Quran Network, Gregory Hall. Shout out to all the traders out there. See you guys here, same time, same place, next week, or this Monday. I might put something out on Saturday. We'll see. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, continue to trade the market, respect the market, follow your moving averages, follow your gut. Trade well, everyone. Take care. Pray for our country, too, man. I don't know if some of y'all motherfuckers, you know, worship voodoo and all that, the pyramids and whatever you worship. But whatever God you worship, man, pray for this country, man, because I don't know what the hell's going on. Take care. Follow Rich Million, too. Yeah, follow Rich Million. Take advantage of Trep and many of the other plays that are slam dunks right now. I'm out.